All right, guys, we started our 18th episode right here. Right here, I have a senior sales representative for a financing company known as Martin. But yeah, man, thank you for coming on in. Tell me a little bit about yourself, bro.
Well, thank you for having me, Jacob. I'm 33 years old, right? Hispanic. I feel like I'm on a dating show or something like that. But no, man, we've been knowing each other obviously for years, right?
For years, bro. You good, bro?
Yeah, we've known each other for years. Have a family, we used to live in a freaking small, people didn't think we were going to make it out. But we made it out.
Yeah.
We're here. We're living good. But yeah, no, married, 5 kids.
Damn, 5 kids?
Too many kids, man. Too many kids. 5 kids. Oldest just graduated from high school. But youngest is 2 years old, but just blessed, man.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we did grow up in the same neighborhood, bro. Same trailer park, here in Houston, Texas. A lot of people are still there, but you're right, man. We made it out, and I think at the end of the day, we kind of are grateful for that. You know what I mean? Because of everything that we saw, and poverty, people living in poverty, man. But nah, that's true, bro, for sure.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you can make it out of there, right? Even though for the people that are still in there, like maybe they didn't have, I don't know, the same support system or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, I think we have what our parents to really thank for that.
Yeah.
But good to be out of there, obviously.
Yeah. So, how did you get into that field, man? Where you became a sales, representative for a financing company, man? What drove you in there?
So, I mean, I've been doing sales for the majority of my life. I first started sales when I was technically about 19 years old. I worked for a cell phone company, called Cricket Wireless. It was for an authorized retailer. Grew my ranks from there, from being a sales rep, going from a sales rep to a store manager, from a store manager to an area manager, from a market to a regional. Sales has always been my thing. For anybody who's even young, always recommend them to get in sales. Obviously, you won't have to work just like your hourly paycheck. You'll be able to do your hourly paycheck and more at the end of the day. But the reason why I'm in the position right now is to be like a senior area sales representative, or the job that I have now is due to one of my good friends. He recommended me to come and work at the company that we're at. It's kind of funny how it works, because when I left Cricket, I went to go work at AT&T. And the reason why I'm not at AT&T right now is because at the time, I had something that was called DACA, right? And my DACA card had just expired.
Damn.
Just expired. And the biggest thing with when I was at AT&T, they didn't allow you to work there anymore since it was expired, and you didn't have the way to have valid employment. So when that happened, my friend called me and said, "Hey man, you need to interview for this job. This is what we do. This is how much you can make, but you got to go out there and hustle. It's not going to be handed for you." So I did that. I went and interviewed and worked and got the job and stuff like that. But I've been there ever since. I've been there for over 4 years now. But at the end of the day, I've been doing sales since 2012.
Damn.
So we're 13 years doing sales.
Yeah. That's good, man. I'm pretty similar too. I did actually start in a phone company. For me, it was T-Mobile though.
Oh man, T-Mobile sucks. It's that rivalry, man. That rivalry. You can't. Hey, like to say.
You think Cricket better than T-Mobile?
Hey man, we got. Well, I don't know. T-Mobile, what now? They advertise that they have like the largest network or fastest network and stuff like that.
They do. I remember customers used to come into the store and they would say, "Hey, I don't have no service," and they would always tell us, no matter what, tell them that we're building a tower nearby their house, and that
it's coming soon.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
It's coming soon,
bro. Which is funny because like the company was telling you to lie, because there was no fucking tower
Yeah.
being built. But
Well, they we had to learn ways to de-escalate,
yeah,
right? De-escalate, even though at the end of the day we weren't able to get that phone to work. It was it was a way to somewhat offer them a solution, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I did start in retail though. It was a retail clothing store. I was an associate there. I moved up into an assistant manager, and from there, when I started in T-Mobile, it was an assistant manager position, but it wasn't my cup of tea, bro. I was only there for almost, I think, a year. But I do agree that the people that do come from phone sales, they end up becoming successful salesmen. The reason why is because you start with your one-on-one, with the customers, helping them out, learning how to de-escalate, like you said. So I mean, like, I feel like a lot of successful salesmen do come from that. And in the industry that I am right now, in furniture sales, there's actually a word that goes around in the company, that the best ones do come from phone sales.
yeah, it's because, man, you think about it, in phone sales, you're talking to all kinds of people,
Yeah.
right? All kinds of even ethnicities, like everything. It doesn't matter what it is. That's and you're talking to complete strangers. So what does that do? That makes it easier for you, even if you have to go sell business to business.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to go sell door to door, you kind of have a little bit more leverage, even though you don't really think about it. You're working that in a cell phone game,
Yeah.
but you're able to tend to just easily approach people. I remember even when I worked in cell phones, we had to go out there and get our own business because some people didn't even know who we were, even though technically Cricket was known as a big name in Houston. When you talk about other parts of states, like when I used to work in Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
it was mainly known in Tulsa, in Oklahoma City,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not known in the small towns.
Oh, really? Okay.
So since it wasn't known in small towns, we had to make events to go talk to college kids that were in the college and sell them on the service and sell them on how cheaper it technically was, but still became the same value. But
yeah.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. Definitely people who work in cell phones, and even today where I work at, majority of the great salesmen that are there came from the cell phone background.
Yeah. I think it builds confidence, and you also learn to change, not change yourself as a person, but like, since you're working with different like ethnicities, like you tend to like kind of shift like stories to talk about or conversations, you know what I mean? The way you act different. Like, just as an example, if I have a country guy that comes into my store, looking for something, I'm gonna start talking about, land, cows, horses, things like that. And if I get somebody that's a little bit more hood, then I can talk about that too, because pretty much I kind of grew up in the hood too.
Yeah.
Somebody, you change your personality a little bit to match their energy, and then that's whenever they feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, when the customer likes you, that's whenever they're gonna buy from you, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. But how is it right now in that financing company? What do you think is the best thing that you do as in your day-to-day life as a representative?
I think the best thing that I do is just technically help businesses grow, right? Help them, especially right now in the economy. It's a little bit tough for people to actually have cash in hand.
Yeah.
And obviously we know the cost of stuff is going up, right? I can say that for myself. Going grocery shopping nowadays is super expensive.
It is.
I think even one time, not to be, I think, I don't know if you eat cherries or not, right? But the bag of cherries was $12.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when the heck did cherries ever become $12? And kind of brings to life too, right? That I don't normally do the shopping. My wife does. And I would tell her, why the hell are you buying $12 worth of cherries?
Yeah.
It used to be like $5-6. But we basically help customers be able to make that purchase. That's the great thing about what I like about the job, right? Or we can bring the value to businesses. Like, hey, if you have a customer that feels uneasy, wanted to buy your product, we're able to help them get them approved, and then still feel comfortable to make that purchase and pay it over time.
Okay, I see.
So bring that flexibility for the people out there who can say they're struggling, or if they want to take their merchandise and be happy over time.
For the in the financing company that you work for, what are the terms that you could finance for? What are the interest rates or kind of fees? Just for so somebody get like a good idea how much they would they would have to pay in interest or like maybe a fee or anything like that.
So we ultimately we're not a one size fits all,
Mm-hmm.
right? So no matter where you go, you may have different terms. I know for us, um, every you have to pay initial payment, right? So
Yeah.
every initial payment could be a little bit different. It can vary between being zero to even as high as $200,
Oh, okay,
or
okay.
it could be roughly around there. The biggest thing is what makes it a lot easier is that it's no credit needed,
Oh, yeah.
right? So technically, the biggest thing and the biggest maybe problem or uneasiness sometimes, even with you being in furniture sales, whenever you bring up the word finance, people
Mm-hmm.
are like, hey man, I'm a push back, right? My credit's not good or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, but the requirements are super easy for somebody to get approved with
Yeah.
us. Typically you just got to be 18 years or older, have an open checking account, don't have an overdraft fee, and then have a bank account open for at least 60 days, and then you can get approved from anywhere from basically $300 to up to almost $8,000.
Dang.
But it all depends on your income, right?
Yeah.
How often, like how good you're moving your bank account, because at the end of the day, we're not going to overstretch somebody that's making $1,000 and telling them that they're approved for $8,000 when they're not going to
Yeah.
be able to pay us back. But a customer always has two options. They have the option to either going the early buyout option, which can vary between 3 months to 6 months, or going the long term option, which can vary between 12 months to 24 months.
And in that type of job there, you're going business to businesses, or is that mainly like what you do?
It's business to business, yeah.
Okay.
So we can basically sign up any business,
Gotcha.
well, not any business, right? We can't sign up like places that do firearms or stuff like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, and obviously adult work or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But anything, just like we talked before, starting the podcast, we can do Western wear. We can do sneakers, just like the sneakers that we wear. We can do automotive, tires, wheels, furniture. We can do almost all.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay, I see. I know there's many different companies that do the same thing as you mentioned. I mean, especially like at the store that I work at, they do work with the specific company. It's called Affirm. Oh no, we work with Affirm, Klarna, but also Acima. I don't know if you're aware of Acima.
Yeah. They used to be known as a credit acceptance.
Yeah,
Well, no, then
Acceptance
that
Now.
used to be acceptance now.
Acceptance Now.
Well, acceptance now was owned by Acima, but Acima fully changed the name from
Yeah.
them.
So whenever you're wanting like to sell your software, and like what do you say to like overcome the people that are like mentioning those other companies? What do you say with those
the main
objections?
objection that we typically get is, how are you different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's when we start basically educating them of like, because we already know what the other companies offer, right?
Yeah.
Acima offers 90 days.
Yeah.
We know that. The thing about that is that we can be flexible. I can either offer you the same exact terms that they're offering you, but change them up a little bit to be a little bit more towards like favorite for you,
Mm-hmm.
or we can offer like extended terms where we can beat the days that they're offering. We can beat the initial payment. We can beat the early buyout payment. We can beat. We always know facts, right? Like for example, let me mention Acima. Um, Acima's turntable. Like for example, if somebody buys something from us and it's $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
if they go the long term with Acima, it's like $2,300. If they buy it with us, it's like $2,200.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
able to sell the value of like, hey, we're actually a little bit cheaper if your customer decides to go the long term option. These are our requirements and these are their requirements. So it's not so much an objection, but at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is you're selling yourself,
Yeah.
right? You're selling yourself. You're selling the value of you, of the human piece, and you're able to tell them, hey, well, at the end of the day, if you do have any questions, I'm going to be here to support you.
Yeah.
I understand that anybody else is going to tell you the exact same thing. Like I even told that to one of my recent merchants, and I told him, hey, like you call me no matter what time of the day, and I'll answer the phone.
Yeah.
So I think the latest call I've ever gotten is 11 p.m. And you're
Damn.
like, hey, like 11 p.m. Like what? Like seriously? Like yeah, we have some stores that are open that late.
Yeah.
Like specifically during the rodeo season,
Oh, that's
people
true.
are open
That's
that
true.
late. So, but even for like one of the furniture stores in here, she called me like 9 o'clock. I'm like, hey, remember what I told you? I was gonna answer the phone, right? Yeah, you did. I'm like, thank you for that. But
Keeping your word.
keeping your
Yeah,
word.
but you're right though. There's a lot of businesses that do stay open until 12 o'clock,
Yeah.
like 11. They close at 11, but they still have clients that they need to close. So sometimes they do stay even after 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the latest call I received so far. But ultimately, you sell yourself. You sell the differences. Um, only objections that I typically have is, do you charge anything? Sometimes we're able to get where we don't have to charge the merchant anything, but sometimes we do have to charge them, especially if they want a special program.
yeah. I deal with a lot of clients, and you're right. Some of them that know that they do not have good credit, because that's basically what it's for, right? For people that maybe do not have that very high credit score.
Yeah.
Maybe they made a mistake, and they financed something and they didn't make payments, so the credit went down. A lot of times, even people that are going like through divorces, their credit drops because it's under both of their names and they don't want to pay for it. So I do understand why, like, if they don't pay it off within that certain time, like what they need to owe is almost double what it costs, correct?
That is correct. So majority of the times, of if they go over the early purchase option, the amount does double.
Yeah.
But there's different ways for the customers, like different option for them to still pay. Sometimes if they go over, it's because they're a lot more comfortable with that payment amount, and
Yeah.
instead of overstretching themselves and having to technically over budget,
Yeah.
right? That early payment option. But if they go the long term option, they can go ahead and use another option, which we call the early buyout option, which gives them a certain percentage off that large amount,
Yeah.
where they can still buy out early, but
Oh,
not have to
okay.
pay that hefty fine
Yeah.
or the hefty fee. More say, in our terms, it's technically considered to be leasing fees, since it's not
Yeah.
a loan. But they get a leasing fee discount, which can vary between 25 to 30% off the
Yeah.
overall total. But sometimes you still have those customers that still go the full term just because they're more comfortable with that amount of
Yeah.
payments. They don't
Yeah.
feel overstretched.
Yeah, which is really understandable. I'm not gonna lie, whenever I have customers that come into my store, I tell them, look, the company's great. It's 3 months, but I always tell everyone, especially like if it's more of like, because there's a lot of people that are not knowledgeable in credit, bro. They're not knowledgeable in making payments or anything like that. And sometimes I'll get like a old Mexican lady that doesn't know anything about credit, but she still has a Social Security or maybe an ITN. Y'all accept ITN?
Yeah, we accept ITNs. Yeah.
So I always tell them, like, you know what I mean? Like, look, pay it off in 3 months. Here are the payments. If you can't do it, I wouldn't recommend it, because, there was a situation that happened where it wasn't my customer, it was someone else at my store that was helping out a Hispanic lady that wasn't knowledgeable in credit. And what the person should have done was just turn it over to a Spanish speaker. But
Okay.
the person did not want to do it because he wanted the sale.
Mm-hmm.
So
Y'all don't do splits or stuff like that?
we
Or?
don't do splits. Nah.
Man,
Whoever
come on,
writes
man.
it
You
up,
gotta,
all percent.
you gotta change that up.
Yeah, I know. Because they know at the end of the day, if they can't speak proper English, you gotta turn it over. But some people they want the
Chase
sale,
bag,
right? They
chase
want the
bag,
sale.
man.
So there was no good communication. The person went with the company that was 30 days, and she was making the minimum payments every single time. She wasn't calling to say, hey, I want to go ahead and put this amount, to make sure she finishes paying it off in 3 months. So miscommunication, and she did have to pay basically double.
Well,
And
the good thing, and not to, the good thing about technically, depending on all the finance companies, right? they typically send you reminders,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I know specifically we do. We send you reminders as soon as you get closer and closer and closer to the payoff date, just so we can eliminate the excuse, or not so much the excuse, but the overcoming the, hey, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that was the time frame. I mean, we write it all in the agreement. We send notifications, we send text messages, we send emails. Um, so at the end of the day, if they do go over, we tried our best to communicate that to the actual customer. So,
Yeah.
but it happens though. People do go over. Don't get me wrong. People do go over.
Yeah. Which, especially like, I know everybody's like busy in their everyday lives. Sometimes you forget. But I know what you mean though. That's a good thing. Do y'all send also like letters to their house and stuff?
We send letters to their house, typically when they apply.
Mm.
When they apply first, because we have to send that acknowledgement letter out to them. Not too sure of what happens afterwards. I'm pretty sure we may even send letters if they don't pay us and stuff like that
Yeah.
for collections.
So what happens if they, for example, buy, the shoes, buy the watch or furniture, and it's, let's say, $3,000 worth, and they don't pay y'all back? What is the process? What happens to that customer?
Well, we don't repossess like how
Yeah,
the company you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
Just because they have like storefronts themselves,
Yeah.
and they can typically go out there and repossess the merchandise. But there's other options. If you for sure stop making payments or you can't fully afford it, then just simply call the company and they're able to pretty much work with you to return the product, because at the end of the day, it's a lease to own. So meaning you don't own the product until
Mhm.
you fully pay it off. So you can just go ahead and call the finance company, find a way, what steps you need to do to return back the merchandise. If you don't pay it off, then obviously we'll make attempts to collect the funds,
Yeah.
and before writing off the actual
Okay.
amount.
Nah, yeah, you're right, man. Well, I've heard stories where they'll go knock on someone's house and take their furniture away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Talking about, the type of people that, go into those companies,
Yeah.
what would you say, what is the importance of credit? Why is the credit so important?
I would say credit's important because it kind of revolves around it's life, right? It's
Mhm.
what you can purchase. Especially even with us, you're building a history with us, even though we don't report it to the career bureau.
Yeah.
Um, you're it depends on what financial stability. Um, you need credit to buy cars. You need credit to buy houses. You need credit to have credit cards. Even though some you don't, because you can put a deposit down and have your own line of credit. But I mean, the world revolves around credit.
Were you born here, bro?
I was not born here.
Oh, okay. Did you already, you went through the whole process already, like to get all the paperwork and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
That's how I
okay.
was able to have DACA, and obviously got married. Took me forever to get. Not it take me forever, but it took me forever to convert from having a DACA card to actually going through a green card,
Oh, damn.
or making that choice.
Yeah.
Like,
What I wanted to talk about is basically like the sales strategy. So from your experience in that financing company, bro, what would you say makes a sales representative successful in that financing space?
well, ultimately, what's made me successful as a whole, right, or can make anybody successful, is making sure you're present,
Yeah.
right? Making sure you're present, making sure you're making yourself available. Even people always ask us that kind of feedback for us who's been successful in the company. Um, don't just hand a 1-800 number
Mm-hmm.
over to the merchant.
Yeah.
If you need help, feel free to call me,
Yeah.
right? If you for whatever reason can't get an approval or you have to do something else, let me know. I'll help you. I'll guide you to what you need to do, so we can hopefully get the customer decision and hopefully approve at the end of the day, because that merchant wants to do the sell as much as you want to sell too. Um, that's definitely, I could say, the biggest thing that's set me apart from all the other sales reps out there, because we've heard those stories of
Yeah.
like, hey, you actually help us out. The other rep just handed me a customer service number
Yeah.
and told me to figure it out. But we don't do that. At least I don't do that myself, and that's why I always tell people like, hey, like when I hand them my business card, It's like, I'm your 1-800 number. If you need
Yeah.
help, let me know. No matter what time of the day it is, if it's early in the morning when you open or if it's late at night, let me know and I got you.
Gotcha. Yeah, that brings a lot of trust. You know what I mean? Because they know once you hit that 800, there's a runaround. They kind of like it's basically like customer service. So yeah, you're right, man. It's like more like trustworthy to give them your personal cell so they can reach out to you.
Yeah.
What would you what is your 1 minute sales pitch to like if you were to do a B2B?
Also do a B2B.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're walking into the business. You ask for the owner of that company.
So funny thing about it is that I never asked for the owner.
Okay.
I never asked for the owner, right? If you're gonna be the person that's right there in the front desk and you'll be the first one I'm gonna talk to, is I treat you like if you're the owner,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm gonna be like, hey, my name is Martin. I work for so and so company. I know that you have X, Y, and Z company currently in your store. I typically hand them a little one pager,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, this is how we're different. This is how we can help you. This is how we're different compared to the other options that you have. And then you start to kind of get to know them a little bit. Who do you use first and why do you use them first, right?
Yeah.
Why do you like to choose them? And then you start getting to the nitty gritty of like, hey, well, this is how we can be different. This is how we can help you attract more customers. We're either going to pitch them the longer days. We're either going to pitch them the higher approvals, the higher amounts, what we're able to take and accept that makes us different than the other companies. That's typically my pitch, man. It may seem super easy,
Yeah.
but it's the biggest things that sometimes these people, they want another option.
Yeah.
Because the other option isn't really working out for them.
Yeah.
It just makes it super easy for me just to walk in there. And at the end of the day, also sell yourself, right? Because if they can tell that you're very likable, they'll sign up with you. Or you're very talkative, they'll sign up with you. But also at the end of the day, too, they want another solution that's going to help their business. And that's how you pitch it to them. You're like, hey, this is how we're different. This is how we can help you. Sometimes even them just getting paid quicker.
Yeah.
They want that, right? Because some companies take 2 to 3 business days to pay them. I've heard some stories of some companies not even paying them at all, taking a long time. And like, hey, well, we don't do that to you. We actually pay you within the same day to the next day.
That's good.
But showing them the benefits of how we're different is what it sells itself.
What are the top 3 main objections that they give you? Top 3.
Top 3 is I have too many companies, right? Because sometimes when I walk into a store, they'll be like, I already have 5 different options, right? Well, do you really need 5 different options? Out of all your options, why do you use one?
Yeah.
How can we? And that's when you overcome it. Option number 2 is the owner's not here. I don't make the decision.
Yeah.
Right. But you try to ask, like, when is the owner going to be available? Because at the end of the day, you really don't want the person that you just gave the information to sell it for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not going to remember everything that you told them.
Yeah.
Right. The best person to sell your product is going to be you.
Yeah.
Number 3, could just be we're not interested.
Yeah.
Right.
They have no reason why they're not interested. Because, I mean, you're not charging that company anything, right?
Depends.
Okay.
So it depends on what they want to get signed up on.
Oh,
but
okay.
Majority of the times, yes, these merchants, or not necessarily these merchants, but the merchants don't want to pay anything at all. But at the same time, right, you have credit cards.
Yeah.
You're paying a fee to transact on a credit card.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody's pays some sort of fee eventually.
What does a fee? What does that fee kind of look like for, like, if a business owner were to say yes and they accept it? Is it like a monthly subscription or like something yearly?
It's not a monthly subscription. It's more per transaction, just like a credit card transaction.
Yeah.
But that fee can be very small. It can literally vary. It can be, I think the highest fee that if we were to charge any, it's up to 10%.
Oh, damn.
But that's for the longest program. But it all varies too. It all varies based on your volume that you actually do. So that fee can actually be super negotiable, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there is there a particular story that you would like to share, like a success story in the business that you're in?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think in the business that I'm in, we've been able to honestly help businesses grow. Um, like I can tell you for sure, there's some businesses that started in a small little shop, right? Small little area, and they were able to get out of that small little area and expand out to a bigger shopping center, right? Where they were able to help and service more customers.
Yeah.
But the goal is always to try and be like, what's your vision at the end of the day, right? Is your vision to be go from one shop to two shops, three shops, four shops? How can I help you get there? We have some businesses. I think in the first month, man, I'm not even kidding you. They financed over like $800,000.
Fuck. Damn.
$1,000. Just imagine where you work at, man. Like
Oh,
how
yeah.
much you guys do.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy how much a business can do and how much finance is actually needed in any day and age business. But my biggest success story that I would say, at least for me personally, I mean, when I started this job, my book was small, man. Small. I probably started from scratch, like almost less than maybe $100,000. And that's little. We have some stores that like I said do over 800K.
yeah.
But even in when I started, I grew that from 100K to, man, over 2 million.
Damn.
2 million.
Yeah. That's a lot. No, you're right though. Like some people probably think it's maybe a couple hundred a month, but no, yeah. Like for example, the store I'm at, it's like around maybe like just my store is a little bit slower compared to like other rooms to go ones, but it's less salespeople. But right there, I think they do maybe around 60,000 a month.
60,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like other stores, they probably hit 200K, a month as far as like, using that, the 90-day program. But no, you're right, man. There's a lot of money to be made out there, and people will use it.
So for you guys do a lot more with Synchrony.
We do, but
Yeah.
the one I'm talking about is the SEMA,
Okay.
acceptance now. Yeah. No, with Synchrony, yeah, right there, bro. Yes, it's a lot right there. Millions on that one.
Yeah.
So I know we did talk about this before, but do you think companies like that, that's kind of like more of like the norm now, especially because the economy, like you said, everything is getting a lot more expensive, and I feel like people they do need to make payments, especially because the economy is so high right now. And on top of that, I feel like the average salary, I believe in US is around 50K, with mortgages involved and food, light, water, all these necessities. I think those financing companies that you're into, they're there to help the people.
Yeah. No. The biggest thing is that we're there to be another resource for the customer, right? Not just for the customer, but the actual business owner too. At the end of the day, we see that the economy is tightening up, right? It's getting a little bit more, I think back during COVID, right? I don't know if you remember, people were like changing jobs
Yeah, they were.
for higher pay, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Some companies have cut back on that, and either they're not hiring or doing massive layoffs or whatever the scenario is, where everybody's going to have eventually a hard time, right? And the biggest thing that sometimes people don't want to talk about is their finances, right? I can't tell when you walk in. You can walk in with the gold chain. You can walk in with the luxury shoes, luxury pants. You can walk in with the Rolls Royce. I mean, just obviously, right? But or a nice vehicle or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, that doesn't determine that you're well, right? And the biggest thing is offering at least a solution for somebody that may not want to say it out loud.
Yeah.
But you can be like, hey, man, I understand, because at the end of the time, if somebody tells you no and you gave them a good proposal and the proposal's pretty good, then it's probably going to come down to finances.
Yeah.
Right. So, but once you bring that solution of like, hey, or at least that option, because at the end of the day, we can approve or decline the customer, right? You can be like, hey, you got approved for X amount. You may have to come out a little bit out of pocket. You don't have to come out the full thing.
Yeah.
But you can do this over time and pay it off. people will tell you yes. Even like for myself, man, like even though I got the money, I like my money looking nice in my bank account, no matter what.
Yeah.
If I have an option to choose to finance something and it's only going to cost me X amount, I'm 100% going to do it, right? Why do you think all these tios and tias are in tandas?
Yeah, for real.
Right?
Yeah.
They're paying monthly on that thing, and then they're getting it back, obviously. But it's a good resource, even though some people don't want to think about it. But it's pretty good.
Yeah, them tias really do get in them tangas.
Yeah, man.
There'll be like 15, 20 people combining.
Yeah.
The way it works, they put the money in, and each person has a specific day or out of the
have
week.
A number or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and they kind of take turns, and somebody gets all the money. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. But no, you're right, man. A lot of people they do want payments, man, and not only will that help the business, it will also help the customer, but it will also help the salesman too.
Yeah,
because the salesmen, especially the commission ones, they want to build their ticket, and they don't sell the total anymore. They sell payments.
Yeah,
and that's gonna help the customer get more items that they could pay for monthly, and then there's a bit better commission for the salesman too. Yeah.
And it's a good thing that you bring that up too, because customers typically have a number in their head before they walk into the store, and they're like, man, I only want to go ahead and buy this, right?
Yeah.
But then once you send them the application, they get approved, and they get approved for way more than what they thought they would get approved for. Well, now I want this.
It's mainly like that too. Most of the time, I think they're like, whenever I'm doing a financing application, they're like, I don't think this is gonna go through. Oh no, you're approved for $3,000. And they get happy, man. It's always good to see a smile on their face because of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What drew you into that financing sales field, and what keeps you motivated? Do you have kids? Is it your family? What keeps you motivated overall?
Yeah, man. What really keeps me motivated is obviously there's no cap on their earning potential, right? That's one of the biggest blessings I get in any commission job, right? You can make as much as you want, just depending on how much hard work you put into it. But then, again, I have kids, right? My kids are the ones who drive me. At the end of the day, just like our own parents, right? We want the best for our kids. Not saying that I didn't have a good uprising, even though it was tough, right, for our parents for that. Especially when you talk about immigrant parents coming in almost with nothing, having less opportunities than other people could possibly have. But at the end of the day, I want to bring that same positivity to my own kids, making sure they can be proud at the end of the day of their own father.
Yeah.
Also, my wife's technically drives me up too, like motivates me too as well, to just be a better person, be a better provider. But the biggest thing, man, like just seeing your kids be able to have more opportunities than what you've had. It's I think any parent at the end of the day will be happy if that was to happen. But that's what really motivates me as a whole.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot. Like, I mean, personally, I don't have kids yet, but when I do want to give them, a life that I didn't have as a child. You know what I mean? However, I do believe that me going like growing up not with too much money, you know what I mean, not being spoiled, it did make me as a person to be motivated. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like it kind of like build us. Because if you get everything you want, sometimes you gotta have to balance it. Make sure they don't make sure they're really grateful for what you're giving them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Trust me, I've had those issues with like my own kids.
Yeah.
Right. Like my kids know that we're pretty blessed as a whole. I think I had a conversation once with my kid. He was like, if you have it, why don't you buy it for me? I'm like, well,
that's crazy.
Right? It's crazy, right? It's just like, why would I told him, man, look, I might have it, but you got to earn it. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna give you something when you're not getting the grades that you're supposed to be getting. You're not doing your part at the end of the day. So I'm not gonna reward bad behavior.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of crazy how you see that coming out from your own kids, but to them to understand, like, nothing's gonna be handed to you at the end of the day. You have to go out there and work for it and earn it. Um, but at the end of the day, they know that, hey, we can get it for them if we wanted to,
Yeah.
but we're not gonna reward bad behavior.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
right, you're right.
our parents, you know, my mom told me every single time how she would overstretch herself and ask for like kind of money loans,
Yeah.
just for me to even play sports, bro.
Yeah.
Sports, play soccer. I was very fortunate to be the only one out of my siblings to be able to play soccer, and go out and travel and stuff like that. But that's from their own sacrifices.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that I'm just so super thankful for them, right?
Yeah.
So trying to give us a better life. We're also trying to do the same thing for our own kids, but doing it the right way. I think is the best thing you can do instead of trying to hand them everything and just that's not showing them what the real world's gonna be, because it's not that pretty. Once you become an adulthood and you start having to pay bills and stuff like that, it's not the same.
No, yeah, that's true, bro. And yeah, I feel like that's something really good that you need to teach your kids, that you work hard, and when you work hard, then that's whenever you deserve, something. Man, I be seeing a lot of kids, man. They be coming into my store, man. They be acting up, they be cussing, screaming at their mom and daddy, and they still buy them a $800 or $1,000 bed frame just for a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, if I would have did that, my parents would have whooped my ass or something, right? But different parenting.
Sounds like we had an air mattress, man.
I know.
Hey, you gotta be humble sometimes.
Yeah, bro. I didn't even have a bed frame, dude. I had a fucking cheap ass mattress. But no, you're right though, man. I feel like we probably started working at a really young age.
Yeah.
Where like we end up, valuing money differently. I started working in construction whenever I was 15 years old, and I was getting paid, I think, like maybe $100 a day, or like 120. And like, man, right after I started getting paid, I was like, man, I don't want to buy those shoes. I don't want to buy those shoes anymore. I was being more careful with my money. I started saying I don't want to drive too much because of the gas money. You know what I mean? But that's whenever you start truly knowing like how expensive things are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's good to teach your kids that for sure. In that industry, specifically in that company that you work for, what would you say the pay rate is? What do you think maybe a beginner will make? And, once they keep going up, what is the pay rate there?
Normally I know when I first started, the pay rate was probably, so you get paid salary and commission, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, I was making $55,000 in a salary base. Commissions were pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when we first started. But the earning potential, if you do good at the job and you build your book up to a certain amount, you could be clearing six figures for sure.
Yeah.
Over six figures. There's some people, top earners in the company, that are probably making over 300K right now.
Damn. Yeah. That's really good. That's really good. Is there like a specific commission percentage whenever they sell to a business? Does it depends on, do you have like different packages that give different commission rates, or how does that work?
It doesn't work like that. It's just what it works is of overall your how much the stores are producing.
Okay.
Right. So you get paid a percentage of that.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, as you continue to grow and grow and grow, your percentage will continue to get, or your payout will continue to get larger and larger based on the percentage. But the biggest thing is just trying to get them to use you more.
Are they able to sign up virtually, or do you have to be face to face for them to sign and everything?
For a business to sign up, there is a process to be able to sign up online, but you still have to talk to somebody. But specifically, if you have a rep inside the city, sometimes you already get a call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want to sign up for the business for the financing option. We go out there, sign them up, go over what they need to do, and best thing too that we do is ask for referrals.
Oh, okay.
Right, so word of mouth, just like I'm sure sometimes with you, like if you know somebody else that's looking to buy furniture, or somebody else that's moving, send them my way.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
We do the exact same thing, but the more you sign up, the more relationship you build, the more you get them to use you, the more money you're gonna make.
Gotcha. If you can tell your younger self something, what would you tell him?
My younger self, I would typically say maybe to finish school a little bit, even though I technically where I work at right now, you really need
Yeah.
a degree and stuff like that. But that degree can kind of help you out to get a higher base,
Mm-hmm.
right? As far as the salary aspect, because I got started at a lower salary because I didn't have like the degree and stuff like that. But it didn't mean I didn't have the skills, right? Um, I think it's important for anybody. I mean, even though you don't need school to be successful, right? It's always a great path, and it's always good to have something on paper.
Yeah.
Something on paper you can rely on at the end of the day. Because sometimes nowadays some businesses want degrees. Hey, what do you have?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, I don't have anything, but I have the experience. But that's what I would tell my younger self. Honestly, that would probably help me out. Take the courses in school. I will probably tell myself again to do cell phones.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's. I even told that to my youngest son. Like, hey man, like, get into the cell phone business. You talk to so many people. Te vas a enredar, like not enredar, pero enredar. No sabo kid, right? But no, man, you'll be able to undo like what some people are currently right now. Like some people are probably like socially awkward, right? You get rid of that so quickly, especially in cell phones. Like it's insane. Like you'll talk to anybody and talk different languages. Just like you mentioned, you talk to the country guy, you talk to the hood guy, you'll talk to the well-spoken person.
Mm-hmm.
I've even communicated myself with somebody that couldn't speak. You learn all those traits. But obviously work hard. Tell myself to work hard. We all started young. You started in construction. I started in fast food. Learn that habit of starting young, working hard, and you'll make it.
Yeah. Sounds good, man. You're right, man. Those some strong words. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own like path getting out of high school. Sometimes you got to figure it out your own. But no, yeah, man. I think me, even in school, bro, I was always nervous. I couldn't speak in front of a crowd. I wasn't confident. And as soon as I got out of there and I started working at that retail, that's when I first opened up. But I even opened up more in that cell phone industry. You're not like shy anymore. But I'm not gonna say everybody's gonna be in that position. It is hard to get into that stuff where you kind of have to open up, especially if you're socially awkward. But man, just practicing, because it is practice to know how to talk to people too. You know what I mean? But once you do that, man, everything else is gonna be easy. Yeah.
But sometimes you don't have to chase after the large carrier, right? Like sometimes people would just want to start off and like say, man, let me go work at T-Mobile, let me go work at AT&T, let me go work at Verizon, let me go work somewhere else. Like there's smaller companies out there that will take you and you're still going to be able to learn that same experience. And or even working at the mall, right? Some people will say like the mall's dying.
Yeah.
Some people can say that it is dying, but you talk to so many people, even the people who like, I'm pretty sure you've been to the food court. People ask you, hey man, you want to try a sample?
Yeah.
You know how many people will be like, man, I'm super embarrassed. I would never do that myself. I would never do that. Or people will say that, but then like, hey, that builds up confidence. If you're okay with walking up to somebody and just offer them a sample, I would tell you, what's the worst thing that can happen? They're gonna tell you no.
Yeah.
I don't want the sample. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna know how many people are gonna tell you no, you think everything's gonna be yes. You're not living in the real world.
No, that's true. You can build confidence in any type of job if you're talking to everybody. But yeah, you're gonna hear no all the time, and you're gonna be self-aware that maybe I can make them say yes. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, man, dude, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you for all the information on that. What are the last words that you want to say to the reviewers, man?
Well, thank you for having me. Once and foremost, anybody's ever looking into getting into sales, definitely recommend it. It's definitely a blessing. no matter where you go in sales, you're gonna make it and earn more. Um, Not just that, but always follow your dream, and you'll make it out there. Make your parents proud. Pretty sure they always want to see you be successful. Pretty sure your parents always tell you that exact same thing. But just show an example to your kids. Show them the path that you took, the struggles that everybody faced, and you'll make it out there.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. If y'all have any questions, man, reach out to me so we can get in touch with Martin. See if he can give you some good financial services with his company. But peace out, guys. All right, we good, bro.